Please like, comment, and subscribe for more terrifying stories. Some objects are more than antiques. Some carry stories so dark people swear they bring death, madness, fires, accidents, and hauntings wherever they go. From haunted dolls to cursed diamonds, these are the top 10 cursed objects that should have stayed hidden. Number 10. The Crying Boy Paintings. In the 1980s, a strange legend spread across the United Kingdom. People began claiming that house fires were destroying homes, but one thing kept surviving the flames: a painting of a crying child. The image showed a sad young boy with tear-filled eyes, and thousands of copies had been sold. But after multiple fire victims claimed the painting was found untouched in the wreckage, rumors exploded. Some believed the boy in the painting was cursed. Others claimed the original artist had painted an orphan whose parents died in a fire, trapping his grief inside the artwork. Firefighters reportedly dismissed the curse, saying the prints were treated with fire-resistant varnish. But that did not stop people from throwing them away, burning them, or refusing to keep them inside their homes. The legend became so widespread that the painting was no longer just sad. It became dangerous. Number 9. The Conjured Chest. The conjured chest is said to be a deadly piece of furniture from Kentucky with a horrifying family curse attached to it. According to legend, the chest was built in the 1800s by an enslaved man named Hosea for a man named Jacob Cooley. But when Cooley was unhappy with the finished chest, he allegedly beat Hosea to death. Hosea's fellow enslaved workers were said to have cursed the chest in revenge. After that, tragedy followed the Cooley family. One by one, family members reportedly died under mysterious circumstances whenever they came into contact with the chest. The curse was said to have claimed more than a dozen victims over generations. Eventually, the chest was donated to the Kentucky History Museum, where it remains today. Whether the deaths were coincidence, family legend, or something darker, the story has survived for over a century, and some people still believe the chest was never just furniture. They believe it was a death sentence made of wood. Number 8. The Busby Stoop Chair. In North Yorkshire, England, one chair became so feared that it had to be hung from a wall to stop people from sitting in it. The Busby Stoop Chair belonged to a convicted murderer named Thomas Busby, who was executed in 1702. Before his death, legend says Busby cursed the chair, declaring that anyone who sat in it would soon die. For years, the chair remained in a local inn. At first, the curse sounded like a tavern ghost story. Then people began connecting it to sudden deaths. Soldiers, workers, and curious visitors who supposedly sat in the chair were later said to have died in accidents, crashes, or falls. The stories became so disturbing that the chair was eventually removed from public use and sent to the Thirsk Museum. But even there, it was not placed on the floor. It was mounted high on a wall where no one could ever sit in it again. Number 7. The Bassano Vase. The Bassano Vase is an Italian legend wrapped in death, betrayal, and bad luck. The story claims the silver vase was made in the 15th century and given to a bride on the night before her wedding. But that same night, she was murdered, and the vase was found in her hands as she died. Afterward, the vase was passed down through her family, and according to legend, nearly everyone who owned it died soon after receiving it. The vase disappeared for centuries before allegedly resurfacing in 1988 with a note hidden inside that warned, "Beware, this vase brings death." Despite the warning, it was sold at auction. The new owner reportedly died within months. Then the next owner died. Then another. Eventually, the vase was said to have been buried in a secret location, so no one could ever own it again. If the story is true, the Bassano vase was not cursed by a demon or a spirit. It was cursed by grief. Number 6. The Black Orlov Diamond. Diamonds are supposed to represent beauty, wealth, and power. The Black Orlov Diamond represents something else entirely. Also known as the Eye of Brahma, this dark gemstone was allegedly stolen from a statue in India. After the theft, the diamond was said to carry a curse that followed its owners across continents. Several people connected to the diamond reportedly died by suicide, including princesses and gem dealers. To break the curse, the diamond was eventually cut into smaller stones. The belief was simple. If the stone was divided, maybe the curse would be weakened. Today, the Black Orlov still exists as a famous jewel with a dark reputation. Some say the curse ended when the stone was recut. Others say cutting a cursed diamond does not destroy the darkness inside it. It just gives the curse more places to hide. Number 5. The Hope Diamond. The Hope Diamond is one of the most famous jewels in the world, and also one of the most infamous. This deep blue diamond has been linked to kings, thieves, socialites, financial ruin, madness, and death. Legend says it may have been stolen from an idol in India before eventually reaching Europe. Over time, tragedy seemed to follow those connected to it. King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were both executed during the French Revolution. Later owners suffered bankruptcy, broken families, and sudden deaths. One of the diamond's most famous owners, Evelyn Walsh McLean, believed it brought her luck at first. But her life became marked by heartbreak, including the death of her son and the collapse of her family fortune. Today, the Hope Diamond sits in the Smithsonian, safely behind glass. Millions of people look at it every year, but no one owns it privately anymore, and maybe that is why the curse has gone quiet. Number 4. The Haunted Mirror of Myrtles Plantation. Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana is considered one of the most haunted homes in America, and one object inside carries a particularly chilling legend. A large antique mirror in the house is said to contain the spirits of Sarah Woodruff and her children, who allegedly died after being poisoned. According to old beliefs, mirrors in a home were supposed to be covered after death. If they were not, the souls of the dead could become trapped inside. At Myrtles, legend says one mirror was left uncovered. Visitors have claimed to see strange handprints appear on the glass, faces looking back at them, and shadows moving where no one is standing. The mirror is not just considered haunted because of what people see in it. It is feared because of what may be looking out. Number 3. Robert the Doll. Before Annabelle became world famous, there was Robert. Robert the Doll is one of the most legendary haunted dolls in America. He belonged to a boy named Robert Eugene Otto in Key West, Florida, in the early 1900s. The doll was almost life-sized, dressed in a sailor suit, and quickly became the boy's favorite companion. But strange things began happening. The family reportedly heard Eugene talking to the doll, followed by a deeper voice answering back. Objects moved. Furniture was overturned. Neighbors claimed they saw the doll moving from window to window when no one was home. As Eugene grew older, Robert remained in the house. Some say the doll's influence never left him. Today, Robert is kept at the Fort East Martello Museum in Key West. Visitors are warned to ask permission before taking his photo. Those who disrespect him often send apology letters later, claiming they suffered car accidents, illness, job loss, or terrible luck after mocking the doll. Robert does not need to move to scare people. His reputation does that for him. Number 2. The Dybbuk Box. The Dybbuk Box is one of the most famous cursed objects of the internet age. It is a small wooden wine cabinet said to contain a dybbuk, a restless spirit from Jewish folklore. The story became widely known after the box was listed online with a terrifying backstory. Its owners claimed it caused nightmares, illness, strange smells, shadow figures, and overwhelming bad luck. One owner said that after bringing the box home, people around him began experiencing disturbing dreams of an old woman. Others reported lights breaking, electronics failing, and a heavy sense of dread near the cabinet. The box eventually became part of paranormal legend and inspired horror films, investigations, and endless debate. Skeptics call it a modern myth. Believers say the box is proof that some doors should never be opened, and what makes the Dybbuk box so disturbing is not its size. It is the idea that something ancient could be sealed inside, waiting for someone curious enough to let it out. Number 1. Annabelle. Annabelle may be the most infamous cursed object in the world, but the real doll does not look like the horror movie version. The actual Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll, and according to Ed and Lorraine Warren, she was far more dangerous than she appeared. The story begins in the 1970s, when a nursing student received the doll as a gift. Soon after, the doll allegedly began moving on its own. It would appear in different rooms, change positions, and leave handwritten notes. At first, the women living with the doll believed it might be haunted by the spirit of a little girl named Annabelle. But the Warrens claimed it was not a child at all. They believed something inhuman was attached to the doll and using it as a disguise. Annabelle was eventually taken to the Warrens Occult Museum, where she was placed inside a locked glass case with a warning not to touch it. According to the legend, people who mocked Annabelle or challenged her curse suffered accidents afterward. One man reportedly laughed at the doll, tapped on the glass, and dared her to do something. He later died in a motorcycle crash. Annabelle became famous because she looks harmless, a child's toy, soft fabric, a painted smile. But that is exactly what makes her terrifying. Because if the stories are true, the most dangerous cursed object in the world was not a weapon, a jewel, or a haunted relic. It was a doll waiting patiently behind glass. Cursed objects all share one disturbing idea, that evil does not always need a haunted house, a graveyard, or a dark forest. Sometimes it can attach itself to something small, a chair, a mirror, a painting, a box, a doll. And once an object has a story like that, it becomes more than a thing. It becomes a warning. Because the scariest cursed objects are not the ones that were lost. They are the ones people keep finding.